Gentleman who's actually been involved in a few different business models over the past 34 years. He's been a consultant, a retailer, a franchisee, and he's started 2 IT companies. And for the past 17 years, he's been building a very successful new skin business. He's married with 2 grown children, and his wife is Sally, and they live in Brisbane. And so I'd just like to introduce to you this evening our wonderful John Gardiner. If you'd like to
Thunderous applause.
Yeah, with the crowd that's here. That's it.
All right. Okay. My name is John Gardiner. It's my pleasure tonight to actually I'll just grab that water for me.
Yeah.
Before we start, just have a minute. Okay. All right.
We start with that.
I'd like to take you on a bit of a journey tonight, if that's okay with you. I want you to imagine that you're sitting on your balcony. It's a Sunday afternoon. It's around about 5:30, 6 o'clock. The sun's shining, there's a slight breeze, and you're feeling really mellow. The reason? You've just been to see one of the great movies of all time, Titanic.
Oh, I see that.
There you go. Well done.
Yes.
Celine Dion's song is just wafting through your head, and you're thinking about Jack and Rose and what could have been. And all of a sudden there's a loud tooting of a horn. And you look down, and there, coming up your driveway, is your useless, worthless brother-in-law, right? And it's Sunday afternoon, and he is here for dinner, right? That's what he does on Sunday afternoon. He comes in for drinks and dinner. And you don't want to know about him tonight because you're feeling really mellow about Titanic, okay? So instead of him coming out of the car, you race down into the driveway, knock on his window and say, "Have you seen Titanic?" And he says, "What? Have you seen Titanic?" And he goes, well no. And you say, "Get down there, 6:30, Birch Carroll and Coyle. It's a fantastic movie." He said, "What's it like?" He said, "Well, it's fantastic. Celine Dion sings really high. The boat breaks in half. Everybody dies. It's a great movie. You're going to love it." So he races out, reverses out the driveway, down to Birch Carroll and Coyle. Now, he gets down there. He walks into the movie theatre, and he realises that he's hungry. All right? He hasn't been fed at home. And does he get in for free? No, he's got to pay $15. And he's got to have the Coke and the Fantas and the popcorn and the Jaffas because he's hungry. Now, he loves the movie, just loves the movie. And the next day, he's doing what he does at work, and that's holding down the water cooler. That's his job. Right? And so he's holding down the water cooler all day, and people come up and they talk about what's going on, what happened on the weekend. And people talk about mowing the lawn and having the rails over for a barbie. And he talks about Titanic. And people say, "What's it like?" He says, "Oh, it's fantastic. Celine Dion sings really high, the boat breaks in half, everybody dies, it's just great." Now, he talks to 17 people that day. And 12 of them go down to see Titanic that night. Now, question, do they get in for free?
Nope.
No, they're going to pay them $15. And of course, they've got to have the Coke and the Fantas and the popcorn. All right? Now, average about $30. Now, those 12 people talk to some people, and those people talk to some people, and those people talk to some people, and at the end of the month, 3,297 people have been to see Titanic because you told one person, your worthless brother-in-law. Now, here's the question. There's nearly $100,000 worth of business out of those 3,297 people that has been done because you told one person. Here's the question for you. Does Birch Carroll and Coyle send you a cheque at the end of the month to say, "Thanks so much for doing all that marketing for us. Here's a cheque for $8,000. Didn't get it?
No.
No? Most people do network marketing every day. They just don't get paid for it. Now, you're probably wondering what I mean by that. But all network marketing is recommending and promoting something that you really like or love. Now, let me ask you, who has recommended, say, a restaurant, a bar, an accountant, a babysitter, a DVD, a movie, etc., over the last 2 or 3 weeks? We're very good at this. We do this. We've been doing this since we were 5 years old. We've been recommending and promoting stuff since we were 5 years old. We love doing it because we love people getting value out of our recommendations. And that is all that network marketing is. Not all days are beautiful and sunny and full of romance, like Sunday afternoon. It was a cold, dark and stormy night in Toowoomba, and Graham Park was sitting at his desk. He was a worried man. Graham had been working at Elders Pastoral for the last couple of years, and during that time, his division had gone from 82 people to 3. And he was wondering when the hammer was going to fall on him. Now, he and his wife had 2 children at the time, and they were looking to have some more. And so for the past 7 months, Graham had been looking up and down the eastern seaboard of Queensland and northern New South Wales, looking for businesses, all right? And they looked at news agencies, they looked at motels, they looked at pizza franchises. And Graham started to figure out, or he started to read about profit and loss and balance sheets really well. And what he figured out was that there's a whole stack of businesses out there that were for sale for one very good reason. They weren't making money, and they were just trying to get somebody else to pay them for that business. Now, Graham was getting a bit discouraged, and he'd almost decided to put his head down at Elders and just ride the corporate train. And out of the blue comes a phone call. It's an international phone call. This is a guy from Canada, all right? And he starts asking Graham about whether he wants to still have a business. And Graham says, yeah, for sure, I'm really interested. And he says, well, there's this fantastic company coming to Australia, and it's called New Skin. And he started talking about stuff, and then he said, we're all going to be millionaires. And Graham got really interested when he said that. But as soon as the guy started talking about skincare and the network marketing model, Graham was putting the phone down, all right? He's yeah. Oh, that's good. And he said, by the way, how did you get a hold of me? He said, oh, your mum and my mum used to know each other in Tamworth, and they were talking. And Graham thought to himself, how lame am I? My mother has to help me find a business, for God's sake. Anyway, he's putting the phone down, and the guy said, can I send you something? By fax. And Graham said, yep, not a problem. So he's, thank you very much, and he'd forgotten about it. Out comes this fax. The next morning, his fax roll was completely gone. And so he started reading the stuff. Graham was a reader, all right? And he got intrigued because the company that he was talking about, this guy from Canada was talking about, was looking at changing the way that people view the network marketing industry, the different perspective of it. Now, Graham got interested in New Skin, and he realised that there was an international business in there, but he had to start local. I met Graham when doing a direct mail presentation at a business breakfast in Brisbane. I'd driven down from the Sunshine Coast, and he'd driven from Toowoomba. We were sitting next to each other. And we got to talking about business and what he did and what I did. And I said to him, what do you do, Graham? And he said, I've got a network marketing business with a company called New Skin. I immediately crossed my fingers and said, I am not interested. I know I fit the profile, but please do not try to recruit me. And it was very rude and arrogant, but that's how I felt. I'd been Amwayed a few times, and I just wasn't interested, all right? I didn't like the approach, and I thought it was really, it was part of some sort of funny, flaky cult thing, all right? Anyway, Graham wasn't fazed by this whatsoever, and he just kept chatting about other stuff like football and golf and beer and stuff that guys talk about. So it turned out that Graham was really interested in direct mail, which is the business that I was in, and that's what I was talking about that day. And he'd gone through and spoken to most of the people in his database, so he was looking at increasing his database. And over the next few months, he used to come up to the coast every month or so, doing presentations not unlike this, up on the Sunshine Coast. And he used to pop in and say good day every now and again. And we got chatting a fair bit. And through a mutual friend, I found out that Graham was really, really successful in the business. And I got to know him a bit, and I just couldn't put the two of them together. I couldn't put Graham, who obviously had principles and integrity and values that were very similar to mine. And yet he was in this funny, flaky, pyramid-selling cult thing. And I thought, for God's sake, anyway, I couldn't put it together. And eventually my curiosity got the better of me, and I said to him, look, you've got to explain this to me. And he spent about 20 minutes explaining it to me, and then he left me with a cassette tape. This was 17 years ago, so it was a cassette tape. There was a little spark that turned into a slow burn for me, and then that slow burn turned into a fire as far as I was concerned. And I've been in the business now for the last 17 years. What we're here tonight to talk about is control. When you have a linear income, and that is time equals money, you have no control. If you work for somebody, or even if you're a consultant or a doctor, a lawyer, an accountant, etc., you're trading time for money. That's all there is to it, all right? And if you have other investments, etc., that's wonderful. You've got to leverage out of that. But if you're trading time for money, you have no control. If you have a leverage or a passive income, then you have control. Control is the most important advantage that a network marketing business can give you. When you have control, you have freedom and you have choices. When you have a linear income, people tell you how much they can pay you. And people say, well, what about doctors? Well, guess what? A doctor, and I'm not knocking doctors whatsoever, but I'm just using this as an example. A doctor may study for 5 years at university, and then do a number of years as an intern at a hospital, and then do a number of other years of study. And then he gets to sit in a cubicle all day and listen to 45 people a day tell him how sick they are. And he's limited by the amount of money that he can actually make, because the number of patients by the amount of money that they charge. The world is changing at an alarming rate, and there are some massive global trends that have been growing for the past years, and those massive global trends are the anti-aging and wellness business, which is going through explosive growth, the technology and communications industries, and of course the one that's coming up from behind, which is just bigger than Ben-Hur, is the supplementary income business. People these days are looking for ways of making more money. There's probably people in this room tonight who would like to make some more money. What if you could combine those three trends? What if you could leverage off those three trends and actually create a leveraged, passive, and subscription-based income? And that biophotonic scanner is a great way of developing a subscription-based income. What if you could take advantage of those trends and create, say, a 6-figure income? Would a 6-figure income give you control? There's a very special company that last year turned over $2.2 billion. That's US, so it's about $3 billion Oz. They've been traded on the New York Stock Exchange for the last 22 years. They have an impeccable management and credit record. The company, New Skin Enterprises, started in 1984 with a philosophy of all of the good, none of the bad. 3 kids out of college started with this dream of making the best skincare products in the world. And they only wanted to put good ingredients in, no bad ingredients. And they succeeded. Everyone's going to tell you that their products are the best. Somebody's got to be the best. We just happen to be them. Now the products are really easy to explain. When you're 20, and I'm talking about the lead products, there are some lead products here, the age lock products. When you're 25 years old, your genes are working at their absolute peak. You are 10 foot tall and bulletproof, okay? Now, As you get older, your genes start to stop working as well as they did when you were 20, 25 years old. And I can tell, I'm 67 years old, I have physical evidence of my genes not working as well as they used to, right? But what they've done is they have tapped into a science called epigenetics, which has only been going for about 12 years. Since the human genome was mapped, epigenetics didn't exist, and it has since become a massive science. And it's the study of genes and how they work or they express. What New Skin have done is, in collaboration with another company called LifeGen Technologies, who they bought about 3 years ago for about $80 million. They have developed a platform, a product platform, and that product platform is using botanical ingredients. They can now reset genes back from old patterns to youthful patterns. The skin on your face can look younger. The skin on your body can look younger. Your energy levels can go up. The clarity that you used to have when you were 20, 25 years old, you can get that back. All right, you reckon there'd be a market for that?
Yep.
Yeah. So, by the way, we own this science, not epigenetics, but we own the science that has gone on to produce this platform, this age-lock platform. We have a major competitive advantage because we own this science. But isn't business expensive to enter? Isn't it difficult to learn? Well, most businesses will fall into those categories. I've had 6 now, and I can tell you that traditional business is difficult. But there's a proven system, the New Skin system, that can create, with support from people who have done it, help you to create a passive income. The top leaders in our business average over $500,000 a year. Now, we have made more than, I think it's nearly 1,600 millionaires now. We make a new millionaire every 3 days. That is somebody who has earned $1 million US with New Skin. That's probably what, 1.3, 1.4 Oz. I can introduce you to people around Brisbane, Gold Coast, Sunshine Coast, who have reached those levels. You may want to just earn a few extra $100 and, you know, save it all up and get a camping holiday. You might want to improve your lifestyle and create a monthly income of a few $1,000s and get rid of those pesky credit cards, or maybe pay off the house or get a better car, or maybe even some private schooling for the kids. Or you may want to take control of your life and go for 5 or 6 figures a month. You can start part-time and build until you replace your current income. All this while looking better and feeling better than you have for years. It's all there, the proven system, the global partner, and the massive trends. They're waiting for you to come on board. What do you think having that level of control would mean to you? Well, I know what it means to me. When we had retail franchise shops, and we had 3 of them up the Sunshine Coast, I answered to almost everyone. I had answered to customers, I answered to suppliers, I answered to my landlords, and I had 3 landlords. I answered to the franchisor, and I had government departments every 2 or 3 weeks trying to get me to sign something and pay them money. I had an accountant, I had a lawyer, I had an insurance broker and a bank manager. I had workplace health and safety, I had insurances, I had everything that goes to do with being in a traditional business. Employing staff meant that I basically ran an adult daycare centre, and my time was not my own. I felt trapped by the businesses and I couldn't escape with my family when I wanted to. Now my time is mine. I've created a great passive income and I get to work with some extraordinary people. I selected each one of them. Take it a few steps further and you could have the life of Graham Park, my mentor in the business. He can go anywhere, anytime, with whomever he wants to, and he can travel first class all the way. He regularly travels for fun and experience, and he never has to worry about money ever again. He can spend time on his 2,000 acre property out near Warwick. He can entertain in his Western Suburbs home, or he can just pack a bag and go. Now remember that Birch Carroll Coyle cheque, that $8,000 cheque? What if they sent it to you every month? Every month. Would that make a difference to your lifestyle? So what's the difference between our business and a more traditional business? The new skin business means that you can follow in the footsteps of people who have done it. You can follow the leaders who have done it. There's a system, there's a proven system that creates millionaires. You have no equipment, no stock, no rent, no overheads, no workplace health and safety, no staff, no superannuation, and the list goes on. You will employ no one, and you will answer to no one. And that's one of the best parts about this business. I answer to no one. You will have control over your life and the freedom to pursue your dreams. But more than that, this business is predicated on helping people. That's what we do. We help people to either look better, to feel better, to reshape their body, make more money, or be better at being them. That is what this business is about. And when you help people, you get fulfillment, which is what we crave, we all crave. You'll be contributing to the lives of others. Ordinary people can do extraordinary things. Join us now. Thank you.